Hola, guapas, ¿qué tal? Okay, so I left my favorite place, Gili Air, and I went to Taiwan. So I spent all of my time in Taipei because I only had a couple days. And anytime I travel to a city just for a couple days, like a big city, I do a walking food tour. It's the best way to get to know an area and to find out about the culture because you have like a guide explaining everything and you're trying all the food and going to the cool areas. So um, I didn't know what to expect from Taipei, and I was very pleasantly surprised. I'm telling you, this is like a sneaky country because it's so amazing. It's just a small little country tucked away that nobody really pays attention to, but it's very beautiful. And what I love the most about it was that there was always like nature or stuff for people to do, exercise, nature, being outside and connecting and community. There's so many parks right in the middle of the city. There's like a hike, like an elephant hike. It's like a mini version of the gross grind, just less gross and not as grindy, but just like steps up and just in the middle of the city. It steps up this stone steps up this elephant hill. It was, and then you get a view of the city. It was beautiful. It was really, really cool. And just like the gross grind, you have people there doing it in flip flops and all that. And I went over to, I didn't know what to expect, but it was awesome. I just like charged my way up to the top and was like, wow, what a great view. So I was really pleasantly surprised by all the parks, all the activities, just tons of wonderful exercise, outdoor, naturey things for people to do. The people were very kind. Not a lot of people speaking English. It was easy to find my way around the subway transit. When I go to a city, the first thing I do is I buy a bus pass. So you have to figure out what the bus pass is called. This one is called the Easy Pass, which makes sense. And you have to buy it from a convenience store like 7-Eleven. But the weird thing is, like, you have to buy the card, and you could buy the card with your card, but when you put money on your transit card, you have to pay cash. That doesn't even make any sense. Like, what the actual F? And it was the same in the next country that I went to. So I think that they'll probably, work on that. They're just not as used to having tourists. And so I don't know why you have to pay cash for your card, but you do. And so you get a card and you just tap on, tap off. So it's like super easy. The system was easy to use, just really, really easy. And what I learned from going on these tours is that in Taiwan, it's like most of the people live in around Taipei, and the rest of it, like in the center, it's all like mountains and not a lot of people live there. And then there's a couple of cities scattered around the rest of Taipei, but it's gorgeous. Like, I just stayed in Taipei. I didn't go outside and go to the other cities, but if I did, I would probably tour the whole country because it was very intriguing, and I really enjoyed it. And so I went on the food tour, and I met, like, the fun thing about going on the food tour, all you learn the food, but you always meet cool people, and there was a lot of cool people on this one. I can't even remember because I confused them all, but pretty sure there was a guy from Scotland, no, maybe Ireland, I can't remember because I think on my last food tour there was a guy from Scotland. Anyway, there was a lot of Americans, and there was this one mother and son, and it was so amazing because they traveled together all the time, and I love it. But she was like kind of in awe of me because I solo travel, and she's never solo traveled, but she's always wanted to, and so I'm in awe of them because that's fantastic that her son will travel with her and have these adventures. And she's like, I want to travel alone. How do I do it? So we were exchanging tips. And it'll be interesting to see, if she can go. Of course she can do it, but if she desires to, if she takes the leap and goes and does it. But it's so fun to meet new people and be trying new food. Our food guide, Mina, she was awesome. And it's really cool. Like, they tell you all the history behind the foods, and she got us like a snack. It was like this weird snack, and it's supposed to like fix things that are broken. So she said you'll see people at the office, they'll be like this snack on top of like the printer or the computer or anything that isn't working because it fixes things that are broken. So like cool stuff like that. And I'm gonna be honest, I have done tons of the walking food tour on my travels. This is the one walking food tour where there was a food where I was like, this is disgusting. And I tried it because you have to try everything. Like, you got to try it. You're here. Why not? And I regretted that I tried it. And it was stinky tofu. Like, first of all, it's called stinky tofu. So there's your first heads up. And it stinks like smelly wet socks. It's so disgusting. And it tastes exactly like it smells. And then, I took a bite of it and I couldn't get rid of the taste. And everywhere I went, all the night markets everywhere, I could just smell this stinky tofu. It was so disgusting. So disgusting. Anyway, after that, I went to, and where did I go at? Oh, there was a temple nearby. So there's so many Buddhist temples in the area, which are just so gorgeous, so lovely, so welcoming, just wonderful places to walk around and have a look. And in the city, there's just so many beautiful historical things to look at and see and experience. And then the next day I did a tour. We went to see three things. I can't even remember what the first thing was. That's not good, is it? Our guide was quite funny. Oh, he was good. Yeah, he was really a James. He was very organized. I can't even remember where we went first. I don't know why, but I just can't remember. And then we went to a waterfall. Oh, I know where we went first because it was really, really cool. We went to this place where you write on a balloon, like a paper Taiwanese balloon, and then you go to the railroad tracks, and then they light it up, and you let it go, and it brings all your wishes true. And it was this cool little town, almost like when I was in Hanoi, and I was at the train cafe where the train goes whipping by you, like literally 1 inch from your face. It was like that, because when we were there, the whistle was blowing, and a train came through, and everybody had to jump off the tracks, and then the train goes by, and then everybody jumps on the tracks, and you write on the balloon. You write, like, first of all, you pick the color of the balloon based on what you want your wish to be, your prayer, your desire, your ask, your, what we want to focus on. So you pick the color of the balloon. You could pick multicolors, and then you write on it, and there's 4 sides to the balloon, and you write your wishes and your prayers and your dreams and all that on it. And then you go onto the tracks, and one woman will videotape you, and then the guy will just like light it up and then let it go. And it's really very cool, actually. And our guide was telling us that the elders get paid to retrieve and recycle the balloons. Like, they get paid quite a bit of money to, when they find a balloon, it's made out of paper. And I'm like, why? Because we're in the mountains. I'm like, how aren't the mountains burning down with all these balloons? But you'd see it when he's lighting it. It's just cloth, like a whole bunch of cloth in the center. And so the cloth stops burning, and then that's what makes it fall. And so by the time it hits the ground, there's no more flames. So it's not like an oil, it's just a cloth. And then when the cloth burns out, that's it. And it was really, really cool to actually, even though it was rushed and very like, do this, like they're very organized there. They pump the tourists through. It was a really cool experience. I enjoyed it a lot. And actually on that tour, because remember, I'm always meeting cool people on the tour, I met this woman, Angela, from California, and she was a retired highway patrol officer, and she was hilarious. And then I also met a fellow Canadian from Alberta. He kind of fooled me because he was originally from Quebec, so he had a French accent, but he said he was from Edmonton. I'm like, what is even happening? Who goes from Quebec to Edmonton? But he was so delightful, my fellow Canadian. And so we had a really good time doing the lanterns. I really enjoyed the lanterns, because the little town itself was just this cute little town, just of all shops, and then the railroad tracks, and then there was a little bridge, and it was just a really cool experience. And then we went to the waterfall, and it's like, yeah, usually I don't go see waterfalls because we have beautiful waterfalls at home. It was just part of the tour. And then we went to Jufin, which is like so amazing, because it is like the real life village from Spirited Away. I don't know if you've ever seen, it's like the number one animation, Spirited Away. And it's in the mountains, and you gotta get on a you're on a tour bus, and you gotta get off the tour bus and get on their bus, and it takes you up through these teeny tiny windy roads, and like we ran into another bus around a corner, and then we had to back up and forward. It was just like such a cool experience, and it takes you up to the top, and you want to see this at night. It was the only thing that I really wanted to do, because my oldest son, he loves animation, so we've watched Spirited Away. It's like one of my favorites, and his as well. And so I was super excited to see this, and it did not disappoint. It's built into the mountain, and it's just like little row, and again, like stall upon stall upon stall of tea houses, because it's the traditional high mountain tea, and all the food and the trinkets that you can buy, and of course bubble tea. Oh, don't even get me started on milk tea and bubble tea. But at night, it's all lined with red lanterns, and it just lights up, and it is extremely cool. The only problem was there was like a million other people who thought it was cool, and this was downtime, like this wasn't even high season, and it was packed full of people. So our guide kind of took us off the beaten track, and we went down into this tunnel and up to this tea house. I don't know how anybody even knows about this tea house, because you literally have to go through a tunnel that gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and pop out, kind of pushes you out the other side. But I really loved that place, and I got myself a bubble tea there. I loved getting bubble tea. When I was downtown Taipei, I went to the 101 building tower, which is the World Trade, it's called the World Trade Tower in Taipei, the 101. And it was during the day, so I didn't go to the top. But I went underneath, because they have like a food court down there, and I got like the famous bubble tea, and it was so good. There's bubble tea and milk tea, and Taiwan is like the birthplace of bubble tea, and so I really enjoyed. I could just live on bubble tea. I'm not gonna lie, I could easily get an addiction to that. But they're also different. Like the actual, you can just get tea with milk, then you can get a milk tea, and the one I got in at Jufan was like so amazing, and that was like a milk tea. It was amazing. And so that was like such a fun experience. And then after that, I went to the night market, because the bus drops you off at the night market, and you're like, hey, might as well. And I started walking down there, and I'm like, oh my God, this is too much. Like just so many people. And it's like a lot of work, a lot going on. And I was exhausted, because usually on those bus days, they last for 7, 8, 9 hours, right? So it's like, it's a long trip. But I really enjoyed Taiwan. So if anybody's thinking about it, I would say 100% yes, you should go experience it. It's like a sneaky little country that is so lovely, just minding its own business, doing its thing. And I would highly recommend. I'm trying to think of anything else that happened there, but it was really fast in and out. And the thing that sticks out the most was that stinky tofu, because it was so disgusting. But I think she made up for it with good desserts, as usual. Well, I think we had 2 desserts. Yeah, the desserts here are so, they're subtle, but they're like, yum. They have custard, and so good. The food in these 2 countries, like in Taiwan and where I am now, it's very similar to Japan. Like they just do it up right. The food, the desserts, everything. All of Southeast Asia, the food has been amazing. I'm hard pressed to pick like one place where I'm like, this was the best food, because they each have their own nuance, which is so amazing. It's just so amazing. And then I was trying so hard to order like the beef noodle soup when I was there, because my neighbor Ken is like, you gotta go to the market and order this. And I was just always so full, I couldn't, and so full of usually bubble tea. So I never got to eat it. So I guess I'll just have to go back again, or find a Taiwanese restaurant when I get home. Like, I've never even heard of such a thing. Anyway, it was a lovely experience. The people were amazing, but being in the mountain and like the Spirited Away experience was mystical and magical. And yeah, they have a lot of tea houses there, which are the thing. So They grow like high mountain tea, all kinds of teas. We were just like in this tea house, and this girl was going off on all the benefits and how it's grown, and you can get some pretty high-end tea. But I guess that's about it for this one. I don't, again, I don't know. I probably left out all the good stories because it was a couple of days ago and I can't remember. But I'm going to post this so that I can talk about, I'm in my last place and I'm leaving tomorrow. So well, I don't want to shoot the video until I actually, because you never know when something super cool is going to happen right up to the last minute. But this is just a little video, just like Taiwan, just a little but powerful. All right, I hope you guys are doing well. Thank you for listening. As always, love yourself first and have an amazing day.